Well, good afternoon. Thank you all for being here for a very special occasion. This is the culmination of a lot of work by those who are on the steps here and are standing behind me, as well as many of you in the audience who have provided support for this very important legislation. You know, families are really the heart and soul of a community, of a state, and of a nation. And today, we are taking a step that we believe will give the opportunity for the 13,500 children who are in foster care in our state the opportunity to have a loving home. We know that there takes a lot of things to make a good home, but the opportunity for a child to have a stable home environment is essential. And I want to thank all of you again for what you have done to make this legislation possible. I'm going to sign House Bill 159 into law today, which will bring about many of the reforms that have been needed perhaps for a very long time. I'm told that the last time that our adoption laws were updated was when I was a member of the state Senate a full generation ago. There are many people who have played important roles in the process of this legislation getting to this point. One of those, of course, is Speaker Ralston, who will speak in just a few minutes, and he's been a champion all along for these very important reforms. And he's made it important to the members of the House as he has discussed it with them and provided leadership to them. So, Mr. Speaker, thank you for taking into consideration the families of the state of Georgia and making them stronger as a result of this legislation. I also want to thank Representative Burt Reeves for sponsoring this legislation and for advocating for its passage through several years now. It's been a long and arduous process, but he has stuck with it, and with the support of many of you, this tireless effort has now paid off. And I want to thank him personally for what he has done to take the lead role in this process. Additionally, this bill includes provisions of the Supporting and Strengthening Families Act, which was House Bill 359 last year. So I want to take this opportunity to thank both the Speaker's office and the Lieutenant Governor and his office for their partnership and cooperation on these sometimes complex and problematic issues. We are taking a significant step forward today. Our state will be better for us having done so, and I look forward to signing the legislation in just a few minutes. I'll now turn it over to the Speaker of the House, David Ralston, for his comments. Oh, I'm sorry, got it out of order. I'm sorry, Lieutenant Governor. The Lieutenant Governor for his comments, and he will introduce the Speaker. Thank you. Sure.
Well, thank you very much, Governor, and I also want to echo my appreciation for you and your office and your entire team for the day that we are commemorating here in the signage of this bill. It takes a lot of hard work, and the Senate worked throughout the summer as well, and I appreciate the Judiciary Committee and all of their good work. But also, as the Governor articulated, the Speaker of the House, he certainly has been a strong advocate for this particular issue. And because of his effort, because of his leadership, we can all celebrate today, along with Burt Reeves as well, who has been one of those guys that's been a joy to work with through getting us to this place. The Governor articulated, I think, the issue of importance, particularly to me, and that is the strengthening and supporting part of this bill. I feel very passionate that government is not always a solution, and that many times our neighbors and our friends and our family members can step in time of need to really help individuals. And so this bill, portion of the bill, certainly is going to do just that, and I think it's going to yield phenomenal fruit and dividends for the citizens of our state. The adoption bill as a whole is something that obviously needed to be updated, and I'm excited that we have gotten to this place and that it's going, and what it represents in terms of hope and opportunity for so many families, but also for children as well. And so it's a great honor for me to now bring to the podium my good friend, the Speaker of the House, David Ralston.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Cagle, and to Governor Deal, and to everyone, good afternoon. It is a great day to be in Georgia. This is a day that has been a long time coming. As we know, Georgia's adoption laws are outdated. While other states have innovated and improved their adoption procedures, ours have remained mired in the past, and that's a problem. That's why our foster care population is growing at the fastest rate in the nation. That's why adoptions in Georgia take much longer than in other states. Today, we're going to take meaningful and substantive steps to fix that problem. Simply put, House Bill 159 makes it easier to adopt a child in Georgia. It helps children find permanent, stable, and loving homes, the kind of home that every child deserves. Moreover, House Bill 159 embraces everyone who is willing to open their homes and their hearts to a child in need. Nothing we do this session will be as important as moving our most vulnerable children from foster care to a home. Nothing is as important as lifting up the dreams and opportunities of our children. This is true public service that matters. I want to express my appreciation to some of the people who were instrumental in bringing us to this moment. First, I want to thank each and every one of my fellow House members. This legislation passed the House unanimously, not once, not twice, but 3 times. This House never wavered. I want to particularly thank Majority Leader John Burns and Minority Leader Bob Trammell for their work on this bipartisan measure. I want to thank Majority Whip Chris Coomer and Representative Mary Margaret Oliver, who both championed this cause. But next, let me thank the sponsor of this legislation, Representative Burt Reeves of Cobb County. Burt has only been in the House for 4 years now, and much of the last 3 years he has spent working on this bill. He collaborated with judges, attorneys, child welfare experts, and fellow legislators. He advocated thoughtfully and passionately for Georgia's children. Burt, I could not be prouder of the work that you have done. As we stand here today, it is important to remember that Georgia's adoption code was last revised nearly 3 decades ago. That revision was sponsored, it is true, by a then state senator from Hall County named Nathan Deal. Throughout this process, Governor Deal has demonstrated leadership, courage, and wisdom. He has been and continues to be an invaluable partner in moving this state forward. Governor Deal, thank you for standing up once again for Georgia's most vulnerable children. Our Lieutenant Governor, Casey Cagle, and his staff worked tirelessly with Senate leadership on this legislation. And while the going was not always easy, I am proud of what we accomplished together and the bill that will be signed into law today. It is now my privilege, and indeed is an honor, to introduce the author of House Bill 159, Representative Burt Reeves.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just want to recognize my wife and mom and dad that are here right now next to us. The first thing that I want to say is that I believe in God's providence, and I believe that there is no such thing as an accident, and that creative design, planning, and divine intention goes into everything that happens. Getting to this moment with this piece of legislation as it nears becoming law has been more than the destination right here, but it's been a journey. And many of you have been on this journey with me, and the thousands of families and children this will help have also been on that journey. Again, I believe in God's providence. And while this journey has had a few obstacles, I want to make clear that I believe that these obstacles, while unclear at the time, have ultimately helped to bring a higher level of attention to adoption in Georgia than ever before. And I'm not sure who said this first, but I've always loved the quote, "We live life through the windshield, but we understand it through the rearview mirror." And I've always found this to be true. Through House Bill 159, the 3 years of effort to get here, we saw that through the windshield. But through the rearview mirror, House Bill 159 has brought attention to the issue that might be one of the greatest sources of hope for families and children, and that is the hope that comes through adoption. And so I believe that this journey was a part of God's perfect plan with this piece of legislation. There is absolutely no way that I can thank everyone who has had a hand in this. But first, I want to thank Wendy Clifton. And Wendy, I don't know where you are. She's back there. Wendy met with me about 2.5 years ago and asked me if I wanted to get involved with this. I had no idea what I said yes to, but we found each other for a really good reason. I also want to thank Georgia Council of Adoption Lawyers right here, Jessica, Ruth, Jim, and Justin especially. Thank you for hanging in when the going got tough. Thank you for the incredible collaboration from judges, adoption agencies, birth mothers, adoptive parents, and every other stakeholder in adoption. I also want to take a special moment and thank Ms. Jill Travis. She's with Legislative Counsel with the Capitol, and a lot of what we see in this bill that's about to become law is because of her work. And I want to say Legislative Counsel is often in the background. They don't get a lot of credit. It would be incredibly wrong if she did not receive recognition for her role. Many of the efficiencies that this bill is going to create and bring to Georgia law is because of her work. So thank you, Jill. It is truly a joy to work with you. And even though at times I know that I can be so frustrating when I'm sitting in your office, and you probably dread me in your office, but thank you. I want to thank the House of Representatives and all my colleagues behind me. Again, as Speaker Ralston said, not once, not twice, but 3 times on 3 separate occasions, Georgia House had the opportunity to vote on House Bill 159, and all 3 times this House remained a fortified group and stood up unanimously in support of this bill. And I will never forget this. And it demonstrates the incredible ability to work together on these issues that impact Georgians. Thank you for continuing to stand with me. And I also want to thank Representative Mary Margaret Oliver, Chairman Wendell Willard, Senator Jesse Stone, and Senator Blake Tillery. I also want to say a special thanks to the Lieutenant Governor for his work in getting this through the Senate. Governor Deal and Speaker Ralston, I don't honestly even know where to begin. We often say around here that when something big happens, it's because we, as a legislator, merely had the chance to stand on the shoulders of some giants. Let me tell you, I have 2 giants that held me up. In fact, I think both of their backs probably hurt from carrying me, but these 2 men, Speaker David Ralston and Governor Deal, leaders of our state, I can tell you, have a heart for this issue, and I have come to know that in a very deep way. To all the hundreds of Georgians, Americans, and in some cases, folks from other countries who've taken time to reach out to me over the last 2.5 years and explain how this adoption modernization will help them and will help children. Your conversations and messages have meant the world to me. And so this new law and this great step for Georgia is for every single one of you. And the last thing that I want to say is to my wife, Amy. She knows all 108 pages of this bill as well as I do. She's had to live with me through this. There's been some tough days. There's been some tough weeks, months. I began a moment ago by telling you that my belief in God's providence. Everything happens for a reason. There's no accident. And I believe that God had a plan for me and for Amy when I became involved with this. This work on Georgia adoption has changed my life, and it's changed our lives. And it has made me realize that it is up to all of us, ourselves included, to find our role in how to serve our community and how to serve the children in our community. Amy and I right now are in prayerful consideration of finding our role and discovering God's plan for us in the idea of adoption and fostering. And we feel that our lives are changed, and we feel led to be a part of what remains perhaps the single greatest calling that we can have. And so we don't know what this means yet, but our yes card is on the table. So again, we live life through the windshield, but we understand it through the rearview mirror. I believe that an entire state, the great state of Georgia, from today on, can look back in the rearview mirror on this and be so overjoyed and proud of what this Georgia General Assembly has accomplished here. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Lieutenant Governor, and Mr. Governor, thank you for your support and leadership.